Sucks to be on the outside looking in. Oh, to be in the winner's circle. The loneliest moment as Joe Biden stares wantingly at President Trump as he is surrounded by world leaders at the Pope's funeral. Joe Biden, like a leper. Literally nobody wants to talk to him or be around him. Jill Biden looking like the freaking Grim Reaper here. What's going on? Well, President Trump was at the Pope's funeral today. This happened, of course, in the Vatican in Rome. Donald Trump riding up to that Pope's funeral in style. It's going to be both presidents sitting in the audience together, but boy, they are treated very, very differently. Here's how Donald Trump arrived. Look at that massive armored door, the white gloves, President Trump getting into the beast, as they call it, riding in style elegantly up to St. Peter's Basilica. Look at this. Here's the presidential motorcade rolling through the Vatican. Never seen anything like it. It's beautiful. Donald Trump, only the second president to ever go to a Pope's funeral. Here's President Trump paying respects with Melania, who's Catholic, inside of this gorgeous St. Peter's Basilica here at the Vatican in Rome. Donald Trump and Melania paying their respects. Here they are with the humble cedar coffin for the Pope. President Trump and Melania, a front row seat as Donald Trump comes out for the public visitation and ceremony. There was plenty of ceremony. President Trump, of course, greeted and given the place of honor. Many world leaders there. There were over 100 world leaders at the Pope's funeral, actually, today. So, well done. President Trump representing America in a powerful and beautiful way. Not so much for Joe Biden, who can be seen here wandering around by himself with Alice Cooper, I think, as far as we know, goth Alice Cooper, and a massive bandage on his hand, as you can see here. What's going on? A crusty bandage on Joe Biden. Super gross. As Joe Biden decaying because he can no longer steal the life force from the Pope. This is a real image. This is not AI. This is an extremely creepy moment where Joe Biden put his head on the Pope's skull. Of course, you're not supposed to do this, obviously. And Joe Biden, I don't know, natus fratu moment. Donald Trump then also, just to sort of underlie exactly how powerful of a moment this was, had a moment one-on-one with Zelensky. You can see here inside of the Vatican. Very powerful iconography here for President Trump. Donald Trump getting the front row treatment here. You'll notice that Zelensky didn't wear a suit. He wore black sweatpants. So Zelensky dressed essentially like I'm dressed right now to go to the Pope's funeral. You really got to start asking questions about this stuff. Now, hopefully this one-on-one meeting right here is going to get true peace. We'll see. They're in the midst of peace negotiations right now. World leaders flock to President Trump, having a moment before Pope Francis's funeral. He is the gravity center of these events. This is Donald Trump getting the global attention on the world stage. Of course, everybody vying for an opportunity to shake his hand, to bend his ear, as they say, press the flesh, right? A number of people. There's a line waiting for Donald Trump. Another angle here of President Trump at the funeral. But this is the major difference, ladies and gentlemen, is that there was no world leaders, of course, and nobody even wanting to be around Joe Biden. The differences are striking and stunning. Being the caregiver to a dementia patient has taken the toll on Joe Biden. Look at this. Jeez, what a freaking absolute train wreck. Ugh. You can see here Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the same shot. So here is Trump, and then back here is Biden. See Trump in the front row here, and 10 rows back is Joe Biden. Nobody talking with him, nobody even sitting around him. Joe Biden wandering up. Looks like a change of the diaper going on, potentially, right? Yeah, okay. Diaper change. Joe Biden seated with the African dictators. Maybe they just didn't forget when Joe Biden, I don't know, decided to sniff the Pope, which he did, actually. Joe Biden literally sniffed the Pope. Biden is no longer part of the cool kids club. Look at that. Again, there's a literal physical line of global leaders forming to embrace President Trump. Meanwhile, Joe Biden sits back here in total obscurity, not even like the Sultan of Kyrgyzstan wants to be around him or touched by him. It's not haram. An uninteresting photo of Pope Francis's funeral. The Vatican shows Iranian Minister of Culture and Guidance, Abbas Saleh. Okay, so the Iranian Minister of Culture and Guidance, along with a religious scholar, standing next to U.S. President Trump. Okay, so what you're telling me here is this guy. The Iranian Minister of Culture got a better seat than Joe Biden. Do you understand the moment here? Do you understand what's happening? The Iranian minister, this is the final humiliation, the ultimate humiliation. Joe Biden doesn't even get, not even close to front row. He gets seated literally in obscurity with random obscure foreign ministers, not even with the global leaders. Decrepit Joe Biden, 10 rows behind Trump, Pope's funeral. All the chairs around him are empty. No one wants to be seen with Biden, political kiss of death. Well, I mean, it's probably smart, to be quite frank. Look at this. Jill looks like she was at a Poison concert the nights before. Melania is stunning. That's right. A beautiful photo of Melania. This one's going viral right now. Beautiful photo of Melania. She's wearing her cross there. She has her hair covered out of respect. Biggest upgrade ever. Yeah, look at this. Ugh, goodness gracious. And of course, Joe Biden could barely walk. Moment frail Joe Biden forced to grab arm of elderly priest as he struggles to walk unaided at Pope Francis' funeral. Joe Biden almost fell down the stairs. Again, look at this. Look at this image. You can see the bandage there on the hand. You can see Joe Biden literally almost in near collapse. Oh, we dodged a bullet, dude. Well, I mean, literally and metaphorically. Biden, 82, clasped onto the priest's forearm as he made a rare public appearance at the Vatican's St. Peter's Square. Wearing a pair of his aviator sunglasses, a black suit, he was joined by former First Lady. Biden's apparent struggles traversing the steps comes as he was forced out of his re-election last year. Former commander-in-chief had maintained a low profile until he reemerged just to start mumbling racial slurs. Got it? Yeah. Here's Joe Biden. Look at this. Joe Biden unable to do the stairs. Look at him wincing and whinging. Here we go. There's Trump, and here's Joe Biden back there in total obscurity, where he belongs, right? Everybody knows who the true leader of the world is. And, well, it's Trump. Look at the way that Trump's treated versus the way that Biden's treated. Here you have the leaders of France and the UK. There. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it looks like to actually be relevant. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The moment that President Trump walked out onto the world stage here at the funeral.
So President Trump is shaking hands with a lot of these world leaders. And this is something that we saw at Notre Dame as well. They come to him. They want their moment. They know that they are in a negotiation with the President of the United States over many things. And he is definitely a gravity center at these events. So just an interesting side note there. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just want to point that out.
No.